Welcome to Tales from the Gold Room. Hello, and welcome back. Return for another story? Then won't you join me by the fire? I remember back to when I was but a small child. My family loved staying up late watching scary movies. And of course, I wanted to stay up too. So I would often hide behind the side of the sofa and occasionally peek over the armrest to watch, only to hide again during the scary scenes. Not only did my family like watching these at night, but they also liked watching them in the dark. Oh, how my heart would thud in my chest, but the idea of having to go to bed early and miss out on what the rest of the family was doing was unthinkable. Besides, that would mean being way over on the other side of the house, alone in my room. Of course, it didn't help that the end of the sofa was next to the door that led to the hallway that was next to the door to the gold room. I would check the gold room door before the movie started to make sure it was closed. And yet, after the movies or shows were over and it was time to go to bed, I would slowly open the hallway door and peer through the darkness, only to find the gold room door open. Why? Why was it almost always open? And why was the light always off? Nobody else seemed to care that the door was open or not. Was I the only one who had terrible nightmares if the door was left open? How did I come to this theory, you might ask? I would often check the door to the gold room on the morning after I had had a bad dream. And if it was open, I just knew that must be the reason for my bad dreams. I remember one night, some of my family members were up late once again, ready for another night of scary movies. My mom had gone to bed early that night, for she had work in the morning. My choice, go to bed early also when she did, and we're talking 8 p.m., or staying up and watch scary movies till dusk. Well, what kid wants to go to bed at 8, huh? Not me. So once again, I stayed in the front room with my other family members. This time I won a spot on the sofa and curled up in my cozy PJs under my favorite blanket I could hide under whenever the occasion called for it. One scary movie after another played. I probably spent more time hidden under the safety of my blanket than I did actually watching. Before I knew it, I had awakened to silence. Realizing I must have fallen asleep with a blanket over my face, I pulled it down and peeked out and made a startling discovery. I was alone in the front room. The TV was off, and everyone had gone to bed without me. And to make matters worse, the lights were still off. So I was left alone in the dark. Now, another choice I would have to make. Check to see if the gold room door was closed, or go straight to bed and take the chance the door would be left open, and the possibility of having more bad dreams. What was a little girl to do? I mustered up all the courage I could, and with my heart slamming in my chest, I forced my legs to move. I crept toward the door to the hall, reached out and took hold of the doorknob and slowly turned it to open. Peering in through the darkness, I glanced over toward the gold room door, just to discover, to my fear, that it was open. As the hair on the back of my neck stood on end, I swallowed a lump forming in the back of my throat and crept slowly into the hallway toward the room. Taking another step forward, I hesitated just for a moment and had the urge to turn around and run down the long, dark hallway to the safety of my room. But I said to myself, "Be brave. Nothing can hurt you. There are no such thing as ghosts," as I quickly reached into the dark, cold, spare bedroom. Grabbing hold of the doorknob, I pulled it closed, and turning on my heels, I bolted out of the hallway, not even bothering to close that door, and leaped across the living room floor, through the kitchen, into the bathroom where the light had been left on, to my relief, and closed the door behind me. Panting heavily, I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror and gasped. My eyes looked as if they might jump right out of their sockets. My flesh appeared paler than usual, and the look on my face was that of sheer terror. Gripping the bathroom sink with both hands, I took long, slow, deep breaths and relaxed my expression. Lucky for me, the bathroom was right next to my room, and the bathroom light was always left on at night, unless someone woke in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. Then they would sometimes forget and turn it off. The only thing bad about leaving the bathroom light on all night was that it often created creepy shadows in the hallway. But it was better than sleeping completely in the dark. After I did my nightly routine in the bathroom, I opened the door, trying not to wake anyone, and leaving the bathroom light on, I crept towards my darkened room and practically leaped onto the bed, slipping under the protection of the covers. I glanced toward the hallway, feeling a small sense of relief of the light emanating from the bathroom, and closed my eyes, trying to fall asleep. But of course, all I could see when I closed my eyes was the images I had seen from the scary movies from earlier. So, to help distract myself, I began counting in my head, counting till I drifted, finally. Thank you for joining me in this first chapter of Tales from the Gold Room. I hope it wasn't too scary. Please feel free to come back next week and join me in another exciting episode. Until next time, bye-bye.